Hi girls, so first question for you. Why did you decide to study criminology at the University of Chester?
So, criminology, I really enjoyed true crime, still do, and I always want to know why it happens, why someone has done what they've done. And I found this course at Chester, and Chester's not that far from where I live. Spoke to some academics who were really, really nice, and I applied, and here I am, and I love it.
Yeah.
Really do. Yeah. How about you?
I applied for this course, Criminology. I'm a combined student with counselling skills as well. But I just wanted to gain a broader understanding of society and why there are so many social harms, because I'd like to be a part of the change. And once I'm qualified, I'd like to
Well, make a difference.
make
isn't
a
it?
difference
Yeah.
in what I've learned,
Yeah.
implement it into a job role.
Yeah.
What have you enjoyed learning most during your studies?
I enjoyed learning about the civilising process, so because I really enjoy looking right back in history to try and gain a better understanding of human behaviour. And the civilising process is basically a process we went through of becoming more civilised within society, and it all stems back to nobility and royalty. So, and there was like articles written, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So basically, through that process, people did become more civilised, and it because they were like mimicking the behaviour of people like the elites, basically,
Yeah.
who were higher up in power, which eventually led to the abolition of the death penalty.
Yes.
In
Yeah.
fact, so
to be more considerate about other people, didn't we?
we became more squeamish. Yeah.
Yeah. And then following the war, World War II, people really didn't have the appetite for death.
Yeah.
And then it continued then talking about, particular cases, for instance, Ruth Ellis,
yeah.
and Derek Bentley, what happened there, and society, basically just thought it was unfair. And then there was a 5-year, was it not a ban, cooling off period?
Yeah,
something?
in the 60s.
19,
Yeah.
regarding the death penalty. And then 5 years later they said, right now, we're not having it anymore. It was
Yeah.
1998, was it? It was abolished completely?
Yeah, completely, because it was still in existence for certain, like treason,
Yes.
for certain acts,
Yeah, but the civilising process, I like that.
Yeah.
So, how did your course support you in learning more in depth about the modules you were interested in learning about these brilliant topics? Like, how did the course support you to do that?
Our lecturers are really supportive, and if you are not following something or you're missing a bit of information, if you feed that back to them, they'll sit down with you, won't they, and they'll go through it with you.
Yeah.
They're really big on feedback, student voice. They want to hear what we have to say, and they'll adapt to enable us to learn basically.
To understand a little bit
to
better.
understand it.
Yeah, if you're not quite grasping what they're asking in assessments and the learning outcomes, they listen to the whole, well, not all the students, and they will say, well, how about we try this or we try that.
Yeah.
They do take it all on board. They really do want to make sure that the students are happy and comfortable.
Yeah.
And that they can learn as much as they can.
And you also have your PAT to go to, who's your personal academic tutor. So I've had a really good PAT throughout my studies, who's been very supportive if I've been confused. Because sometimes the assessment questions can be a little bit outside of my area,
Yes.
and then they'll just say a few words and it makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
What have been your highlights while studying here?
There's so many.
Yeah.
Just the vast amount of things you can learn if you want to. Like, it's not just about your course, you can learn so many things. You can run a committee, you learn so much there. You can interact with the student union and do different training, so leadership training, communication training, neurodiversity training, mental health training.
We're doing carbon literacy in a few weeks
carbon
as well.
literacy training.
That's available for students if they'd like to do that.
Yeah.
We are peer mentors, we've done training for that.
Volunteering.
Volunteering, there's so much you can do here. and it can improve your confidence. You get to know so many people, the people who run the volunteering. We've just chatted to a lady before. It's just a lovely environment. Really, it's so nice, welcome and relaxed, and the challenge is also there, which is what what we've come for, and it really good. It's stretched me and it's great.
Yeah, I also like that the academics don't feel like there's no hierarchy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're in school and you've got to do what the teacher says.
No, it's not like that at all.
It's like a partnership.
It is a partnership, isn't it? Student voice partnership. That's what we've got.
Yeah, and you can, which makes them more approachable then, so you can go to them with
suggestions, ideas.
Yeah.
It's not just about academic questions. It could be any sort of suggestions or ideas that you might have, and you can take along to your academics, and they'll listen. One thing I really would say for me at university is making friends.
Yeah.
That's it. Making
you
friends.
You need a network to get through university, I would say. Well,
yeah.
It makes it easier anyway, because you've got a support system then. So through the societies, we're building networks and support systems.
Yeah, the friends that I've made at university, I really value them, and without coming to Chester, I wouldn't have made them.
Your
and
confidence is, you said you would barely speak when you first came here, but your confidence has really grown, hasn't it? So yeah, just the environment that's been created overall has meant we've been able to grow in so many different ways.
And our
not just in our studies, but yeah.
With the lecturers, just thinking about our lecturers, the relationships we've got with them, it's I couldn't tell you. They're just so lovely, so supportive, friendly, and you can just walk past them and say, oh, blah, blah. Have you seen such and such on the telly? That might link in one of them theories. It's just so nice, really, really lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So what do you hope to do in the future with your degree?
I would like to become a forest school leader. So, but it's not gonna just be for children, it's gonna be for all ages, and there's gonna be lots of things interlinked with it. So I'd like to work with people who are neurodiverse and help teach them tools to regulate the nervous system, do networking, crafts. Also, I've applied for the Masters here in a different subject, archaeology of death and memory, because that intersects with human behaviour, and that's my thing, is human behaviour. And also that will help link in with the forest school. And so for me, overall, I'm all about wanting to help with change within society. So I'm more along the lines of the social science for social change aspect, which is where forest school comes into it. So it's also about, I'll be using my counselling skills with that too. And in the future, I would also like to train as a counsellor, but that'll be further down the line. So yeah, it's an ongoing process to where I'm heading with what I want to do.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, well, so for me, it's more about learning more. I'm also applying for Masters, doing the archaeology of death and memory, because it is like a social science, and that's what criminology is. It's a branch of sociology, and I want to find out more about why we've done certain things, which has then made us where we are now. And I'd never thought I'd even be doing a Masters. I just never thought that it would be there for me, but yes, that's what I'm doing.
Great. Are there any additional ways in which the university has supported you in achieving your goals?
Yeah, when I volunteered for Childline, which helped me to identify that wasn't for me right now, which then totally redirected me where I wanted to go. So you can also, through the volunteering, it can help you to see where, because sometimes you think, oh, that's what I want to do, but at least here you can try it alongside your studies, and then it helps to direct you where you in other directions where you might not have thought of initially.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when I on the volunteering, I like all of it, but we're doing a volunteering project with one of our lecturers in the social political science, social media, and we just both love really creating, and we've had a little training on a bit of podcast, and that's something that I never thought that I would do. But yeah, that's been an opportunity for us.
Working way towards podcasting.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to anyone thinking of studying criminology at the University of Chester?
Do it.
Yeah.
Definitely do it. You know, you get so much support from your lecturers. They're just so lovely, so friendly. And the small lectures are, I like the small lectures because you don't get lost. You know, you can make connections with students. There are opportunities to have little group works together, and that's how you build your network and find out about, you know, who your friends might be, different societies. Definitely come along and give it a go. It's so lovely.
I would say study criminology because you can take, once you've got that degree, you can more or less take it in any direction because you gain such a broad understanding in different areas. It doesn't mean that you have to work as a probation officer or a police officer or a social worker. You can take that degree in any direction, even with your masters. Like, it gives you a lot of insight.
A lot of insight, and the knowledge that you learn, your research skills as well, just that alone. You know, it's certainly worth coming along and having a little look. Yeah.
Cool. So I've only got two final questions for you, and they're kind of informal. The first of which is just, what do you think students that are going to study criminology at the University of Chester have got to look forward to the most? Like, what are they going to find the most exciting when they start studying here?
I was going to say community.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good community.
It is. And that's where your exciting can come from, because once you create your own community, that's when you go off and you do what you like to do, and you can create your own exciting things.
For me, I feel like at Chester you can make this your own experience. So there's that much on offer, and to choose from, there's always something that you're going to find that interests you here.
Brilliant. That is all the questions I have.